and interesting, whether it be because he's got a baseball background, because his father won a national championship in college football, for a number of reasons. A very interesting commit to the Miami Hurricanes yesterday, and one Kaden Martin from Knoxville Catholic.
It's different, Mark. Of course, we're happy about it, but there seems to be this back and forth. Is he football? Is he baseball? He is the number one prospect in the state of Tennessee for baseball, and I think he's like top 25 for the upcoming draft in baseball. So, hey, it's kind of similar to A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, who wanted to go to Miami so bad. I believe he was committed to Miami at a point, and then the major leagues called. And why not take that opportunity? Went on to have a historic Hall of Fame career, and still loves and gives back to the institution that he would have played at least a semester at. But when it comes to Martin, man, to be honest with you, I'm so excited because this type of prospect is something Miami has never truly had. I've seen people do the comparison to Malik Rozier, and it's like, please stop. Delete that out of your mind. This is not what we're bringing in. He's way closer to Russell Wilson than he ever will be to Malik Rozier. And much love to Malik Rozier for the 10-3. We thank you for that. But I want, like I've said for years on your show, Mark, I want these young men to be them. I don't want to compare him to anyone else. Based on the film that I've seen, I do think that a Russell Wilson comparison is great. He's a lefty too, though. So it's a little different in the trajectory of the ball and how the spiral is a little opposite. And it's all good, but he's deadly accurate, which comes from that. He has a nice cannon, okay, but he's also super humble. You know how when you listen to somebody, and Colin Cowherd says this, like people being like presidential and then quarterbackial is a word he created. When you listen to certain people speak, you hear the leadership, you hear the calmness, you hear the maturity, you hear the young man in this high school prospect coming out in the way that they speak. And T. Martin and his parents and his wife or whoever he's with, they did a great job in building this young man, Kaden. Now, I think that it's a blessing to have him commit to the University of Miami. And if he ever does put on our uniform, if he ever does suit up for the Canes, we'll be rooting hard for him. I think he would be probably the best QB on the roster right now. And he would be our best baseball player on the roster there too. So he's big time. I don't know if he'll ever come to Miami as far as play there, but if he does, I'm rooting for him.
There was a bit of a discrepancy, and this isn't unusual, between the three major services when I broke them down last night and looked at them, because the first evaluation that I saw, just a strict numbers evaluation, was number 7 overall dual threat quarterback, and that was from the composite. Right. And then I saw 247 Sports had him at 21st. So from number 7 to number 21, I thought, man, he's got to be really highly rated by the other two. I went to ESPN. They only had him at number 11. So I thought, my goodness, I went to Rivals. They had him as the 4th best dual threat quarterback in the country.
It's kind of a wide spectrum. The biggest thing that I've noticed in these evaluations is, number one, you look at someone's highlight tape and you're kind of looking at their best plays. But at the same time, I kind of do take all three. I don't really do Rivals as much, but definitely 247 and ESPN. And I feel like the truth is somewhere in the middle between them. And it's what they're really looking for. I think dual threat QBs on ESPN don't always get the same love as a true pocket passer. And I wish that they had a category of balanced and dual threat and then pocket passer. If we can get somebody who, if they can find a way to put a prospect in the middle. Because in my opinion, look at a guy like Trevor Lawrence, Sunshine is balanced. Because guess what? He's just as good as diming you as he is taking off on you for 80 yards. Just like Justin Fields. Justin Fields can take off on you just as easy as he can throw the ball. Now, you look at a guy like Lamar Jackson, yes, dual threat. He's a scrambler. He leans that way. But there's plenty of prospects who are growing up in today's college football that in high school football, where balanced is really where you want to be. You can go get me, Joe Burrow can go get me. I think he had like 500 yards rushing that season. You wouldn't know it because all he did was just take off and get 8 yards here, 10 yards there, 12 yards here, 20 yards there. He'll have a rushing touchdown on a QB sneak. So he had plenty of those. But then there was also your Tim Tebow's and your Cam Newtons who, yeah, they're balanced, but they lean more on the rushing side of things. So if any one of them can create it, or Mark, you know how you talk about the vision, we need to get a Mark Rogers recruiting. Okay, we need that. We need that done right now. Okay, Rogers recruiting. I love it right there. R&R. That's right there, Mark. That's it. That's right there. MR recruiting.
I love that too. And this is why I am not saying that I would be doing the evaluations. No.
Mm-hmm.
I watch football and all that business, but I am not in the business of evaluating players. It's good in life to know what you don't know and to know your limitations. So I would know enough to know, yes, surround myself with the experts. Would love to have you on board. Would love to have others on board to do the evaluations. I would love to structure it. I would love to come up with different ways of categorizing, just like you mentioned with the quarterbacks. I've thought the same thing since this dual threat category was implemented. Initially, absolutely, there has to be some kind of distinction made, but there's an automatic thought that, okay, this guy's a run first guy. And that's not necessarily the case, especially anymore, where there needs to be some type of you had a good term given to it. What was it? What did you go with? Balance? Yes.
What do you mean? I just said balance. So you got your scrambler, you got your
exactly.
Yeah, you got balance, you got pocket passer, because it's like I said, the term I use usually is modern day QB. Obviously, I look at it like old school, modern day, futuristic, kind of how I look at it. But if you're modern, then you're probably more being able to run if you can, because obviously any quarterback coach, any offense would love a QB on first or second down who can take off and get you 8 or 9 yards just as easy as you can sit back and throw 30 and go 10 for 10 on the next drive. And the stigma that's attached to it, I'm glad it's going to wane away, because people understand now, regardless of geographically where the QB is from, regardless of their makeup, regardless of any of those type of things, you can have a QB that can get you 6, 7, 8, get you 15, get you 10, and still go, 12 of 18 for 200 yards and 2 TDs in both ways. It's just how the game is starting to be played and coached. And now you're getting athletes who are also learning the QB position at a high level. I mean, Mark, you go as young as 6, 7 years old with QB camps now. So I could only imagine how the late 2020s and 2030s are going to be. The game is just changing on a completely different level.